What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm super excited because Singular.live has reached out to me and they said, Alex, we have a really cool website called overlays.uno. The link is also in the description. This website actually features and offers you a whole lot of overlays and different lower thirds, as you can tell right here. Gaming videos whenever you're playing FIFA, or if you just want to have like general, neutral, and standard lower thirds in your videos. And what's really cool is that all of this is completely for free. You only have to sign up for an account, but you don't have to pay for a monthly subscription. There is no hidden fees. You don't have to purchase any overlays outright, like a one-time purchase, for example, in order to download it. You just sign in and you're good to go. And as you can tell right here, they also have a Discord server where you can go ahead and ask for support if that's needed. So as you can tell right here, guys, the website is in the description for after this video, but I'm going to give you guys a little run through because obviously, as you can tell, those overlays also work in OBS Studio if you're live streaming. So this is not only just for video editors and creators. We have tons of overlays when it comes to like your subscribe overlays, your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, LinkedIn, Discord, everything you can imagine. So if you browse through, as you can tell, we have a lot of different overlays when it comes to countdowns for streamers as well. But for now, let's go ahead and click on library on the top left. Everything is divided down in categories. So we have the full screen overlays, we have image loops, we have obviously when it comes to functions, we have like, the live ones, we have timers, and underneath that we have categories. Let's say you make education videos and you're making a tutorial, giving lessons in a sense, then you can just get your, lower thirds when it comes to like going to different chapters. So as you can tell right here, if we hit full screen, for example, this is pretty much like your overlays whenever you finish playing a game of FIFA, for example, in a YouTube video or in a live stream. You can completely customize this in your video editing software or your OBS or your other streaming application that you're using. And there's just tons and tons of more. We also have different sports. Obviously, we have football, we have soccer, tennis, anything that you can imagine. So let's go ahead and see what else we have, for example, in the image loop. So right here, this is really cool for having like countdowns and stuff, like I said, for live streaming. But we also have like really cool B-roll. We have all kinds of stuff that we can just go ahead and download and drag in into OBS right away. So what I'm most excited about is obviously like the lower thirds. I'm actually quite obsessive when it comes to that because everything needs to be updated. All the colors needs to be matching when it comes to like blue for Facebook. And then we have like orange, or way back in the day, we had brown for Instagram. Now we have like, pink and like black for TikTok and you name it. So it's actually really cool that we have like custom ones right here, as you can tell, when it comes to like the news or just general overlays that we can use when it comes to like showing a name. You just have to think of an overlay or a lower third idea and they will have it. So like I said, right here, we have the scoreboard for all the gaming streamers that are doing like FIFA or any kind of, soccer game. We even have pool, we have snooker, we have all different sorts of sports. It's really nice. What I also want to point out is if you're not just making like regular live streams about gaming, or you're making get like gaming videos, but let's say that you're making like really long lo-fi videos with like calm, relaxing music. Right here, we also have this lower third vibe where we have this really cool lower third when it comes to, putting that on your overlay. If you have like a photo of, for example, right here, because it's really cool that they also give you like this context, like how do you properly use that, like, color matching. And it's really cool. So as you can tell right here on the bottom, we have the theme where we have socials. So as you can tell right here, if you hover over with your mouse, you can actually see what it looks like. Let's say that this one isn't really your choice. Then you can just, skip that. You don't have to download like 10 unnecessary files. It's really cool that they give you previews. All right, so let's click on, for example, this one where our email shows up on the bottom. So if you click on that one, it says right here, try overlay. So then we land on the screen, as you can tell, where we have like a little tutorial, because you can actually edit this in the cloud. You don't have to download the file itself, and then you have to add in like an external, text overlay in your video editing software or in OBS, and then you have to manually animate that one as well. All right, so this is actually the builder, if you will, like the editor on the actual website. So let's go ahead and drag this down a little bit. We want to see a little bit more of what I'm doing. So right here, as you can tell, we have our email field right here. We have our Discord, we have Facebook, Instagram, Kick, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Rumble, and a lot more. So let's go ahead and start off with filling those in. I filled in Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So it will just switch like, between all your socials. So that's really cool. You don't have to like animate it all yourself and just get all the, the masking layers ready. So right here, we have the customize button. And this is pretty much how you can actually like, tweak the color of like the background and stuff. So let's go ahead and hit background. Little prompt just said you paste this link into OBS. So if you want to make a change after you put this in OBS already, because let's say you're not happy with the background color, then you still have to come back to this website or to that URL rather, and then you make the changes here, because right here, obviously it says autoplay forever. So usually you would, time those intervals in OBS when like how frequently it comes into the screen, but that's not the case. You just do that here. This is like your mini OBS when it comes to also the settings. So when you have a lot of social media in there, it's a little bit hard to read if you have only like 1 second per link. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick the autoplay. We're going to pick that you can really set it on like how frequently you want it. I would preferably have around every 10 minutes. And then the display duration is going to be a little bit longer. Let's say about 5 seconds per link. So people have the time to go ahead and check that out and just read the URL. So what I'm going to do for this one, because the text is white at this point, I'm going to choose for a little bit of a darker color. So let's say that I'm going to choose dark purple. But I'm going to change the autoplay to forever for just a second so that just the overlay stays in the screen. So as you can tell, that looks really, really cool. So while you're editing, you can keep the autoplay on forever. And once you're finished, you can just swap that back to 10 minutes. So it's really, really cool that the icon automatically changes to the Twitch icon, to the Instagram icon. Because I remember like a couple years ago, maybe even more than 6-7 years, I posted a video on Vegas, like the lower third, but that was all just a template from scratch. So you separately had to get the Instagram logo off of Google, the Facebook logo, the Twitch, any logo that you wanted from your social media, you had to grab that from Google. You had to make sure it was transparent, that it was all the same size and resolution. But now, as you can tell, it just updates automatically. It saves you so much time. So as you can tell, guys, that looks really, really cool. So I have one suggestion, for the developers. So I'm pretty sure they're all watching this, obviously. It would be really sick if we could actually change up the background per social media. So let's say Twitch is purple, that we have this bar purple. And then when YouTube shows up right here, we can have it to a red one. If you hit customize, right here, we have the horizontal position. So if you hit this arrow down, as you can tell, we can just move that to the left, to the right of the screen. The vertical position, obviously, most people want to have that somewhere on the bottom. You really have to look where you're going to place this, because you don't want to have this on like an important place if you're playing a game. But this one is covering any kind of important info on the game. And of course, the scale, you can also make this a lot smaller, a lot bigger. So if I just keep this cursor down, as you can tell, it is actually shrinking in size. It's really, really cool. What I also maybe could suggest for the developers as well is maybe that we can, drag this size and drag this across the screen. So now that we have grabbed the URL, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our OBS. We're going to make the appropriate scene. So then we're going to right click here in the sources area. We're going to hit add, and then we're going to look for the browser. So then we're going to just give this a name, for example, lower third. And then we're going to hit OK. And then obviously it's going to ask us a URL. And that's the one that we're going to paste in right there. So then if we hit OK, as you can tell, there is the overlay. Now, obviously, we have to tweak the settings just a little bit, because the resolution obviously needs to be 1920 by 1080. There is the overlay. Obviously, it is a black screen because I don't have anything underneath it, but this is transparent. This has no background, or you don't have to chroma key anything. And as you can tell, guys, it just keeps showing up, and all the settings that you have to tweak, like how frequently, like I said, you just have to go back to the website and change it there. So if I change the color right here to, let's say, pink, it is updated right here live on the spot. And that's how it works, guys. This is how it works with every single overlay on that website. You just tweak it on the site there. You don't have to download like unnecessary files, and then all of a sudden you want to go live, and then OBS has an error loading because a file has been moved from one drive to another. You have to go and locate it. I've seen it all. It's a pain. So this is pretty much really, really cool that there's also no lag, because the file is, for example, too heavy. And before, it's all from the cloud, from the website, loaded in super smooth. And you don't even have to keep that website open in order to run that overlay when you're streaming. So guys, as you can tell, this is really, really cool. I highly recommend checking this out, because like I mentioned, you can just go ahead and sign in for your free accounts, and then you can just start creating your overlays right away in OBS, because I didn't skip anything. I didn't do any fancy edits where I had to cut out a part where you come in front of a paywall. I just immediately started in the editor. I grabbed the URL, went to OBS, pasted it in, and there you go. So obviously the link is down in the description. Go ahead and start exploring. I want to thank overlays.uno so much for sponsoring this video. Thanks a lot for the continued support. Everything you need to know is in the link down in the description, and I'll see you guys, obviously, in the next video.